Here's a quick video how I save money getting to Funchal, Madeira from Toronto, Canada. It's more about the navigation of the Azores Airlines website, but take a look. It's kind of boring. It's mostly screen capture, but if you go through it once and you watch it to the end, I actually show you the new flight that they're offering, direct flight from Toronto to Funchal starting in June. Shows you that it's quite reasonably priced and it's very convenient. You just fly direct, but also there's a lot of hints and tips through, and Maria and I are very happy with Azores Airlines, and recommend you watch this video probably in its entirety, and it'll set you up so when you're ready to book, you just go on their website and you can save yourself some money. So this is where I go. If you look, azoresairlines.pt.en, and the Azores Airlines obviously is out of the Azores. We've used them a lot. There's other flights, but the thing about Azores Airlines is it's supply and demand. If you go in the middle of summer, it's going to be more, but if you're in the winter months or the spring months, you can save quite a bit of money just by changing when you go. And let's just go through this. So I click on to the from, I say Toronto. Nope, I gotta spell it right. Toronto. I'm gonna pick Lester B. Pearson, and then we're gonna say Funchal. Funchal next. I'm just gonna do a one-way just to make this easier to see. This stopover, I'll skip. If you look here, I'll just take that off, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave next Saturday, or this Saturday, and I search, and then the flights come up. And if you look, if I go next Saturday or this Saturday, it's $1,083. It's in economy. But if I go on Friday, it's $384. So let's look at this flight. 383. So this is Friday, February 23rd, 2024. So I click on this flight here, and then I scroll down, and there's simple, basic, flex, and top. And these are the prices across the bottom. So let's look at this one for $384. So if we click on it, then we come down, we can see what it is. In the simple, you get one carry-on bag only. Everything is extra. If you miss your flight, you lose your money. If you want an extra bag, you have to pay for it. If you want your seat selection, you have to pay for it. Everything is paid, but it's $383. Quite often we fly this because we have our clothes and whatnot at our house in Madeira. But if you're going on holiday, the basic, you're allowed one check bag up to 50 pounds, which should be more than enough for some. But for another $30, you can get that same flight, and you get to bring a carry-on 8 kilograms and a checked bag up to 23 kilograms, which is roughly 16 pounds and 50 pounds. There's still, if you miss your flight, you're more or less paying for it. You do get a little more money on the air miles every flight. The flex gives you one carry-on and it gives you one checked bag. But if you look, the seat selection is still paid, but you're allowed to make the same day change, which is interesting if you maybe don't have a schedule. That can change. There's still, if you do change, there is still expenses. And then the top one is you get one carry-on bag and you get two checked bags. You can make the same days. Your seat selection is free. Yeah. You can cancel without departure for free. You can change departure without penalty. and you get 125% air miles. So it's 533. So it's what, $160 more. If I'm taking stuff with me, I'll take the basic, but if I'm just flying over, I'll go simple. $383. Now let's talk about, you have to be careful. This has happened to us. It didn't affect us, but as an example, we booked a basic flight. You see this simple and you see it's cheap and you book it, and you can only, here's the problem. If you happen to book the basic, so you're allowed a carry-on and you're allowed a checked bag to go. So you select that one. But now when you do the return, you're not, and you look and say, oh, here's an economy one. We grab it and you say, okay, here's the simple. It's $561, and you book the simple for the return. Well, the problem is you're only allowed one bag, carry-on. So now you have this checked bag with all the wonderful things that you purchased there, and your bathing suit and whatever else that you had in the checked bag when you went to Funchal or Madeira. So you have to be careful that you make sure you check, you get the same flight back. Now we have been in a situation where on the flight back, they don't offer the basic, I guess it's sold out, or they just don't offer it. So you're only allowed one bag. So at that point, you either have to pay the difference and buy the extra bag, which you might not be allowed to put a bag. The reason they're not offering the simple is because there's no room for it. But you have to be careful that when you come back, you get the same amount of bags as when you went, or more. Now we've gone with a checked bag and then come back with just carry-on. We've left our bags there. But the next time we go, we would go with just the checked bag, and when we come back the next time, we'll bring our suitcases back. For us, it's not a problem. But if you're on holiday, you definitely want to bring things back with you. Now, one thing that Azores Airlines, formerly known as Sata, announced was, for the first time ever, they're going to do direct flights from Toronto to Madeira. And it means no stopover in the Azores. You fly from Toronto to Funchal. And they said they were going to start in June. So we're going to go here, Toronto, Pearson to Funchal, here. And if you look, this is, maybe it's because it just introduced it. I'm going to click on round trip. Maybe because they just introduced it, but if you just click here, departure date, you click this arrow and you go over to June 1st, and we return 2 weeks later, but on the Friday. So it appears that the flights are going from Toronto to Funchal on Saturday, and they're coming back on Friday. And we click the 14th. We're going to skip the stopover. We're going to search. So if we look, this is Air Azores, direct, non-stop, 6 hours and 45 minutes, Toronto to Funchal. So we click on the flight details. It leaves at 11:30 in the morning in Toronto, and you get to Funchal. Don't forget there's a 5-hour time difference. You get to Funchal 11:15 on Saturday, same day. I think it's wonderful. And $383. That's to get there. So I'm going to select that one. And now we have to do the Funchal to Madeira, Funchal to Toronto, so the return. And if you look on February 14th, which is the Friday, you can see the other prices here. But $335 economy, you get a return. So I'm going to select it. $718 return from Toronto to Funchal. You leave on Saturday morning, you're there Saturday evening, you return, you leave at 6:20 p.m. from Funchal, and you get to Toronto at 9:15. Okay, so that's just how we go. Azores Airlines, previously called Sata. There's many other ways to get there. Your tour operator may have better ideas, but we have almost exclusively flown with Air Azores. They've got good equipment. We're not paid and nothing like that. Just trying to help people out, you know. And if you change a day here or change a day there, you can save considerable amount, you know. And this one, it's $1,000 each way, so that's $2,000 per person. If a couple are going, that's $4,000 for a trip. It's substantial, and the way I look at it is, you can save $4,000 on your flight. It gives you a lot more money to spend on your hotels and your food and whatnot, your tours. Enjoy. Any questions, any comments, by all means, leave them in the comment box below.